It is time for your historical top 10. We're going top 10 best lefties in A's history.
Yeah, best. It's National Left-Handers Day today, August 13th, International Left-Handers Day.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That if you're lefty internationally, you're being celebrated.
You're being
today.
celebrated today because face it, you're different.
I'm not left-handed, so I wouldn't know.
No, because you're regular.
Yeah.
These lefties they're different, so they get their own days.
Far different humans.
So
they wear their hat crooked. I mean, everything they do is
they don't even think the doorknobs mess them up. It's
if you ever look at a left-handed pitcher or anybody who's left-handed and you look at their hat, it's crooked, but to them it feels like it's on straight. You go, no, I'm going to put it on straight. I had all these teammates. I go, let me put it on straight for you so it lines up. And then they go, no, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You're odd.
They're just odd. But it seemed like the perfect day to celebrate.
Perfect.
The top 10 A's left-handed
we
starters.
Had some lefty. We just had Jacob Lopez.
Well, exactly. Jacob Lopez is on this incredible run, 24 straight scoreless innings, 4 straight scoreless starts, only the 4th pitcher in athletics history, 125 years of athletics history. Only the 4th starter to do that.
What do we have? Corey Lytle was the last one, 02?
Corey Lytle. Steve Ontiveros did it in 94, and then Jack Combs did it in 1910.
The great Jack Combs.
He did it in 5 straight.
Wow.
So
we weren't doing a pre- and post-game show back then.
So he had a bullhorn. He was yelling it out.
What's your honorable mention?
So this was tough. The top 9 for me were actually pretty simple. But when I got to the 10th, there's a whole bunch of guys who could be the 10th best, in my opinion. So that left us with a lot of honorable mentions.
Okay.
Brett Anderson. I know you're not a big Brett Anderson. Gio Gonzalez.
Love Gio.
The birthday boy, Dallas Braden.
Dallas Braden.
It's his birthday today.
You know what people don't remember, and I always like to bring it up to pump Dallas up? Dallas Braden has more complete games than that guy, Jacob deGrom.
So there you go.
So Dallas Braden would take the ball, and he would take it to the house.
He didn't want to give the ball up. And one day in Texas, Bob Guerin tried to take the ball from him, and he wouldn't let him have it. Literally would not come out of the game.
Love that.
I do, too. Other guys, Tommy Malone, Carl Irvin, J.P. Sears. Now, for those wondering, El Paso's coming to Sacramento next week. So if you want to see J.P. Sears, you can see him right here back at Sutter Health Ballpark next week.
He'll be thrilled.
Yeah, he's going to be thrilled. Kenny Rogers.
The gambler?
The gambler who was fantastic in the 90s, was undefeated
Couldn't
at the
lose,
Coliseum.
yeah.
Scott Kazmir.
I was his story of hot shot. Not everybody loved him for the Devil Rays, and then lost it. Went to the Sugarland Skeeters.
Yep.
They were independent. They're now the Space Cowboys, the AAA. But then he comes to us and resurrects his career, and he was a great guy.
He was all-star.
Great guy.
All-star. So he's honorable mention. Kurt Young.
Oh, one of our all-time favorites
Right.
here on A's
He
Cast.
was, obviously part of the A's starting 5 in the late 80s, part of that World Series
great
winning
pitching
team.
coach for us.
And there was a great pitching coach and a great dude. Back in the early 70s, Dave Hamilton was a guy that, again, there's mostly a 3 to 4 man staff, and Dave Hamilton was your 5th starter on those teams. And then Jacob Lopez, what he's doing right now, he gets an honorable mention. I think he deserves it. But none of those guys made the number 10 spot.
We're talking top left-handers in A's history. There's some great ones.
Some great ones.
Great ones.
There's Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
This one's not a Hall of Famer, but checking in at number 10. But when I crunch the numbers, and you look what he did with the Athletics, Sean Manaea.
Wow. Didn't think you'd go there. We love us some Sean Manaea.
Sean Manaea acquired.
Talk about great human beings.
Acquired from the Royals for Ben Zobrist.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, he was coming off an injury year.
He had the weird hip thing.
Yeah. And so nobody's sure what was going to happen. But he goes 50-41 with the A's from 2016 to 2021. 50 wins, 3 shutouts, threw a no-hitter against the Boston Red Sox, who at the time that April was the hottest team going. Shut them down. And if you think back to 2019, when we talk about their stretch to win the wild card, he went 4-0 down the stretch.
Came back at the end, yeah.
With a 1.21 ERA coming back from the injury. And in 2021, he comes back, makes 32 starts that year, 3.91 ERA, 194 strikeouts. I mean, just his body of work over those 6 seasons pitching for the A's, it's pretty outstanding.
You think about with Bassett, Montas, Cole Irvin, and you just think about these guys in that group. They had a special group, and Manaea was like that, just the fun-loving guy. Everybody loves Sean Manaea.
You know, I always remember during the COVID year in 2020 when the pitchers wouldn't sit in the dugout, they would sit in the stands, and they're in Seattle sitting in the stands. Him and Bassett, they got their jerseys all wide open with the deep V, and they're just cheering on their guys, and they were just having the best time.
Yeah.
So it was pretty special. Sean Manaea is an A.
I love that one. Great person. And that no-hitter was against when the Red Sox that year they won the World Series.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9, we're going way back. This is Rube Walberg. Now, there's going to be 2 Rubes on this list. This is the first Rube who pitched for the A's from 1923 to 1933. Part of the Philadelphia A's team, a key member of a rotation that went to 3 straight World Series, winning 2 of them. Had a 1.93 ERA in 5 World Series games.
Wow.
Just a dependable starter at that time for again, a great A's team. The 1929 A's might be the greatest baseball team of all time, better than 27 Yankees. And he was part of that team. 134 wins in his 11 seasons pitching for the A's, an ERA just over 4. But again, the way that Connie Mack used his starters, 412 games, 266 starts. Basically, on your day to throw, which would normally be a bullpen day today, you were in the bullpen to come into the game. And you would pitch on your day just to, throwing between starts. And that's how they did it.
Men were men.
Men were men.
I love that.
And Rube Walberg was a man of his time.
We're not wasting your bullets in the bullpen, son. You need to come out here and get some outs today.
Exactly. And it's kind of the way you think about teams using guys in the World Series and the postseason now. We've seen Randy Johnson come out of the bullpen. The A's did it with Tim Hudson. Because if it is your day to throw, why waste it? Let's get out there and get some outs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, the Washington Nationals won a World Series doing that. Madison Bumgarner. I mean, Randy Johnson will always be that when he came out and the Yankees went, oh, God, we got to do this guy again.
Yeah. I mean, you got to use it. So that was the way that Connie Mack, he thought about it. And Rube Walberg had a great career with the A's.
I love it. Number 8?
Number 8, this is one of my favorite guys, Bobby Shantz. Bobby Shantz is going to turn 100 years old next month.
All right.
Bobby Shantz is 5'6.5". 5'6.5". When he was in the Army, his feet were too short to reach the pedals of the tank. So he couldn't ride the tank, so that was supposed to be his job, but his feet were too short. Couldn't reach the pedals.
That would seem like a problem.
Bobby Shantz was the American League MVP in 1952.
At 5'6".
At 5'6.5".
And a pitcher.
And a pitcher in an era with Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra. In 1952, he went 24-7 with a 2.48 ERA, 27 complete game, 5 shutouts, a 9.4 WAR. Now, obviously, I didn't know what WAR was back then, but they've gone back and said it and figured it out. 9.4 led the majors.
So they couldn't go to their baseball reference page or Fangraphs back then?
No, they realized that Bobby Shantz was the best, not just the best pitcher in the league that year. He was the best player in the league, and the voters voted him that way. And this is a team that finished 16 games behind the Yankees, but they still looked at Bobby Shantz at 24-7 as the best pitcher in the league, MVP, 5'6.5".
And these men fought in war.
For Bobby Shantz, 51 and 52, very good. Then he had some injuries, went to the Yankees, as most of the Kansas City A's ended up going. They ended up going to the Yankees. And was very good out of the bullpen for the Yankees for a long time. And again, he's going to turn 100 years old next month.
So we're sitting here complaining about the Delta Breeze. They fought in war and then won World Series, and we're worried about the Delta Breeze.
Exactly.
This is how I believe, okay? I'm from the old school. I believe this.
I mean, how soft are we?
Bobby Shantz. Wow.
I like it. Number 7.
Number 7. This guy dropped down in my list. He dropped down as I was looking at the numbers. And I was starting to get frustrated while I was looking at him. He's going to be here next month. He's going to go into the A's Hall of Fame.
I'm going to say it's Mulder.
It's Mark Mulder.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to disparage Mark Mulder. He's an A's Hall of Famer. He's number 7 on this list. He was a great A. What he wasn't great at was the postseason. And that's what kind of knocked him down for me. Because you look at him, he was 81 and 42 from 2000 2004.
That's
right? 81
and 42.
In 2001, his first full season, his second season, 21 and 8, 6 complete games, 4 shutouts, finished second in the Cy Young Award. probably could have beaten out Roger Clemens that year if you really look at the numbers. 2002, he was 19-7. 2003, 15-9. Right, so he was an ace in the regular season. He was an ace. Postseason is a different story. He missed the 2000 postseason, hurt his back in September. He wasn't even available to the A's in 2000. 2001, lost Game 5. 2002, lost Game 5. 2003, injured, not available. That's a problem. And now we go to 2004. 2004, he's having a Mark Mulder year. August 24th, he's 17-4, 3.72 ERA, dealing. His last 7 starts that year, the A's are fighting with the Angels to win the division. 0-4, 8.31 ERA, an opponent's batting average of 365. He forgot how to pitch. It was like he had the pitcher yips. He could not make the ball do what it used to do. It just lost him. It abandoned him. And the A's, of course, finished out of the postseason that year.
But he's still number 7.
He's still number 7.
Still great.
Because he was a fantastic pitcher.
He could, Mark Mulder takes the ball. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I remember when he was he was the second pick in the draft out of Michigan State. And you're like, you're taking a guy out of the Big Ten? Like, you remember that? It was like, really? Because we didn't know. We were all primitive back then, knowing prospects and stuff. But when he showed up, boy, did he look the part.
Well, I've told the story before. When he came to throw in the bullpen right before he signed, Mike McFarland, who was the A's catcher, catches the bullpen and then goes up to Billy Beane with a handful of pens and say, sign him now. Because he was that special. But just postseason, didn't get it done.
Number 6.
This was somebody who did get it done in the postseason. That's Ken Holtzman.
Oh, Kenny. He's 6?
He's 6. That's how good left-handers are in A's history.
I'll never forget when I interviewed him. And he would just go off on a question, right? And he would just go in different directions. And I remember he was talking about the pressure being Jewish. He had the pressure of being the next Sandy Koufax.
Yeah.
You think of all the great, especially African-American outfielders who were supposed to be the next Willie Mays. If you were a Jewish pitcher and left-handed, you're supposed to be the next Sandy Koufax. I don't know about you. Sandy Koufax is pretty good.
Sandy Koufax was really good and impossible to live up to.
Yeah.
But when Holtzman got to the A's, he fit right in. In the 4 seasons with the A's, 19 wins, 21 wins, 19 wins, 18 wins. 250 innings plus each season, 54 complete games, 13 shutouts. Started game 1 of all 3 of those World Series. 1973 throws an 11-inning complete game in the playoffs against the Orioles. 74, 3 starts, 2-0, 0.86, has 2 doubles in the 73 World Series, and a double and a bomb in the 74 World Series. This is a clutch player. This is Ken Holtzman.
Yeah. Greatness. Playoff greatness.
Just every
He came
day.
over from the Cubs, right?
Came over for the Cubs for Rick Monday, and just was that extra pitcher they needed to go with Hunter and somebody else we're going to talk about real soon. That version, the 70s Big 3.
Number 5.
Number 5 is Barry Zito.
Oh, wow. That's right. We got to get to some of the Hall of Famers from Philly. I forgot about that.
So Barry Zito, obviously the main time with the A's, 2000, 2006, came back in 2015, but 102 wins, 205 strikeouts in 2001, the Cy Young in 2002, 23-5, 6 straight seasons with 200 innings pitched, never missed a start. And then we talk about postseason, right? The first postseason in 2000, A's facing elimination in New York. He's a rookie. He wins an elimination game, game 4, beats Clemens. 2001, game 3. I know we don't like to talk about it. That's the Jeremy Giambi game, but 8 innings, 2 hits, only 1 earned run.
He was special.
Game 3 at Minnesota in 2002 when the A's needed to, there was 1-1 the series, 8 Ks in 6 innings. 2003, game 2 against the Red Sox is lights out for 7 innings. Game 5 against Pedro. He pitched well. He gave up the home run to Veritek and then the 3-run homer to Manny. Not great, but he still competed against Pedro. And then, of course, 2006, game 1, he beats the best pitcher in the world at the time, Yohan Santana, with 8 innings and 1 run. He was a clutch postseason pitcher, and the Giants saw it themselves in 2012.
Yeah, I mean, when you go back to, because Vida didn't have, we'll get into Vida. Vida didn't have great postseason success. Obviously, you got Catfish, you got Stu, but I mean, Zito is one of the greatest athletics, especially Oakland A's pitchers.
He really
There's
is.
no question.
There's no question for what it is, his body of work. And again, that postseason, when he was in the mound in the postseason, you felt pretty good about your chances.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Vida Blue. From 1969 to 1977, 124 wins, 1,300 strikeouts, ERA under 3, 3-time All-Star, 4 times top 6 in Cy Young votes. Obviously, the MVP Cy Young year in 71. Again, these numbers are mind-blowing. 24-8, 1.82 ERA, 301 strikeouts, 24 complete games, 8 shutouts.
And was a star. He's on
star.
Time Magazine, Sports Illustrated. I had some kid here because I did something with Shooty at the beginning of the year where I said, Julio Rodriguez is not a superstar. Some kid tried to give me crap here. I'm like, a superstar? Vida Blue was a superstar. He was people not in baseball knew who Vida Blue was.
And that's the key, right? Everybody knew who he was.
Everybody knew who he was. All right, number 3.
Number 3, now the other Rube Waddell.
Rube Waddell.
Now,
what a name.
You got to go. People read about Rube because he was the first lefty who was kind of weird. He did crazy things. There were stories about him running off the mound to chase fire trucks. Not quite true, but he loved firemen. He would go and actually help them fight fires.
Rube.
He known to miss a start or two because he was playing marbles or off fishing. He was busy. He missed the 1905 World Series because he might have been injured or maybe some gambler to talk to him. There's some debate about that.
He was busy.
But he was like the first great strikeout pitcher of the American League. Over 300 innings in 3 of his 6 seasons, 2 300 strikeout seasons. This is at a time when batters didn't strike out.
Yeah,
they were embarrassed to strike
yeah.
out. They were trying to put the ball in play. Led the league in strikeouts all 6 seasons with the A's. Won the pitching triple crown in 1905. Hall of Famer in 1946. But read about him. His stories are unbelievable.
So, like, when he didn't show up, you couldn't call a sell. He was fishing.
He was fishing. He was off fishing, missing a start.
He was fishing. All right, number 2.
Eddie Plank, who was our first great starter for the A's, 1901 to 1914. In 7 World Series games, a 1.32 ERA, an 0.88 whip. He had 7 20-win seasons with the A's.
Oh, wow.
59 shutouts, 284 wins. Hall of Famer in 1946. He was the first great pitcher in athletics history.
And if we're going to do best lefties on Lefty International Day, number 1 has to be
Lefty Grove. Robert
Grove.
Moses Grove, Lefty, who's got to start late. He was in the minors with the Baltimore franchise. They wouldn't sell him because he was so good and he was bringing in fans. Connie Mack wanted to purchase him and they wouldn't sell him. So he finally, when he makes the big leagues in 1925, he's already a 25-year-old. At that time, considered very old. But Lefty Grove, come on, 7 straight 21 seasons. 1931, 31-4, 8 World Series games, a 1.75 ERA.
Oh, man.
Never allowed a home run. 195 and 79 was his record. And again, if there were saves, he'd have over 30, almost 40 saves if we counted that stat, because again, using him in those midweek between starts.
What an ultimate weapon. And this is the thing that we're all going to have to just get used to. I know the nerves are still raw, but when we talk about this franchise, we're going to have to talk about it. If you're in Philadelphia, if you're in Kansas City, if you're in Oakland, whatever we'll call this, you're going to have to say Sacramento, and then in the future, Vegas. Yeah. And I know people are, they get weirded out. And if they, you can say the name Oakland. We were the Oakland Athletics. Yeah. That's just a reality. I learned this with the Raiders. You were Oakland, you were then LA, then you were Oakland, then you're going to be Vegas. But that's how the organization went. And you will be talked about based on where you played for the Athletics. And saying Oakland is okay.
It's okay. And I think it's great to celebrate the 125 years now of athletics baseball in these different places and the great players that have gone through. I knew we did a lot of Oakland lists, and they should have been Oakland lists when we were there. But now we got to look bigger and look at this whole franchise. And when you're talking about the great left-handers, Lefty Grove, Eddie Plank, Rube Waddell, people should learn about these players. They're fascinating to read about. They're all different, and especially Rube Waddell, very different. Lefty Grove, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, and he was ours. He was an A.
And the guys that we're going to be celebrating coming up here, was it September 13th on the Hall of Fame induction? When you think of Hudson, Mulder, and Zito, two of the greatest left-handers in our franchise history. We're going to celebrate out here.
We saw the big three, and it's great that they're going in together. That's the way it should be. Hudson, Mulder, Zito, and Mulder and Zito. We had two great left-handed starters in those 2000s.
Nobody better than this man right here, David Feldman, our A's historian, who will be the official scorer for tonight's game.
I will be.
Because you got your uniform on.
Got the official uniform.
You got the patch. He's repping the league.